Greetings. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. This is a very special video that I am producing today. I am going to walk through from A to Z everything associated with Sam Anderson, aka Jayboi Productions, everything that the Telegram rooms, which have been utilized for a hive of criminal activity, violating both Texas state statutes and codes, as well as federal United States criminal codes. I will walk through every code, every statute that I've been able to find in the last several hours and put together as a compendium to explain to you folks exactly what is reality and what is fiction. So before I go on, as I always want to do, just so we know that we're authentic here and we're genuine, and I swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. This video is being made courtesy of the divine. The divine. Because when I sat in prison, I asked for deliverance. I needed assistance. There was no one around I could ask that was trustworthy. The only person I had was me. I had to be a temple of God. I had to resonate with God. I had to look inward towards God to guide me, to help me, to give me the tenacity, the courage to move forward, to pursue everything that I pursued. That includes learning, education, reading, experimenting, testing, prodding, pushing, to the point where everybody in my prison unit pretty much thought that they were going to make me disappear. That's how I got the name Fearless. So, as you see from the title, Racketeering, Influence, Corrupt Organizations, RICO, cults, and the crimes that they commit. The first part is understanding what you're in, what you're participating in, what you're even just associated with. Because I'm going to walk through the law with you in this video, and I'm going to put you in your proper seat where you belong, because that's where you sat. I didn't put you there. Jayboi didn't put you there. You put yourself there. You didn't want to believe everybody else. You chose to believe Sam Anderson. That's on you. You chose to believe Sam Anderson without vetting Sam Anderson. That's on you. You didn't do your own research. That's on you. You got conned. That's on you. If you use this as a learning opportunity, that's on you. I'm going to walk through this. When I get done, you're going to be sick to your stomach. You're probably not going to be able to eat or sleep. And I'm going to give you fair warning right now. Me, Fearless Floyd, Floyd Pleasant Tarvin IV, hold the key to your freedom. I'm going to explain to it exactly how this rolls. And when I get done, you're going to freak the fuck out. I promise you. If you still choose after this video to participate with, associate with Sam Anderson or Jayboi Productions or Jayboi, whatever the hell scam he's running, or what entity or what Telegram room he sets up, oh, you're going to be highly, highly pissed off when the dust settles. I promise you, you're not going to like this, because I'm going to lay it all out for you. I have about 50, 60 tabs open that we're going to walk through. Absolutely. So we're going to start with right here in Houston, Texas. So let me go share my screen, get that set up so we can move forward. Let's see, where do I want to start? Let me go start there. Right here. See this pro se litigation? 2017. Pop that open. It's already open down here. Well, let me do this. There we go. We'll just bump it right over. As you see, this is my resume addendum. And when I submit for, well, when I was submitting for paralegal positions, here's a few, but not limited to all of the pro se filings that I filed on my own that are found on the internet as of July 28, 2016, which you're more than capable doing this yourself. And I encourage you to do it yourself. Don't believe anything that you're hearing or seeing in this video. Go do your own research. If you don't want to take me at full face value, as I'm operating in good faith with clean hands and honor at all times. Let's move on to my case right here, Tarvin versus the Texas Board of Criminal Justice, okay? That's all the government appointed board members that are over the entire, what? Criminal justice system. I sued them. You're fixing to understand why I got the name Fearless. This is published in the Supreme Court Digest. You can go look it up. That means I'm a published litigator. There's one. Okay? I'm a multi-published litigator. You can see I've been to the United States Supreme Court. Oh, well over one time. Well over one time. I would say at least a dozen, if not 24 times. Not for myself, but doing work for other people, because that's such an advanced level of litigation that when you come, you better come proper. So if you're coming out of the Fifth Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals on Metairie Street in New Orleans, Louisiana, you better come proper. Very conservative court. So there's the link if you want to go look it up. Here's when it was decided. Next, Tarvin versus Quarterman, director of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Boom. Published again. There's 2 volumes. This is the U.S., United States, and then they have the Supreme Court Digest, and then they have the lawyer's edition. So there's 3. There's the link. Tarvin versus Stevens, Supreme Court of the United States, certiorari. There's the link. Tarvin versus the United States District Court, Southern District. I sued the court. Yeah, I sued the court. Tarvin versus Baccaris, Charles Baccaris, who was the Harris County District Clerk, who refused to forward my writ of habeas corpus pursuant to state law to the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals and held it over a year. Ex parte Tarvin, petition for writ of mandamus. Whenever you file anything into one of the courts of appeals as a motion, they turn it into a mandamus. So, Tarvin versus TDCJ-ID. Inri, this is relator, another mandamus. How you read this. So, another mandamus. This is a writ of habeas corpus, 1107, Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And here's my writ number, which means I've filed 10 writs into the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. This number right here, that's my assigned number by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. So whenever I file a writ in there, all they're going to do is put -11 would be the next one, or -12 or -13. I think I'm up to 12, actually. There's another one, ex parte, writ of mandamus. Now, these are just the ones that I could just do a search on Google and pull these up for you guys. So here's 17, there's 05. This is from 06, another writ of mandamus. It was a motion. Tarvin versus the state of Texas. Here's my DWI that I went to prison for. There it is again. This is, I'm sorry. This one is me on appeal for my prior misdemeanor DWI that I was challenging. That's a whole nother thing. That's how I got in with John D. Whitmire, former Texas state senator, former chair of the Senate Criminal Justice Committee, also co-author of the revision of the Texas Penal Code as of September 1st, 1994. So when I wanted to challenge one of my prior misdemeanor DWIs via habeas corpus pursuant to Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 1109, because 1107 governs the felony, okay? 1108 is the procedure to do a writ of habeas corpus on challenging a felony conviction. 1109 is the authorization to challenge a misdemeanor conviction, but you would think 1110 would be the procedure for a misdemeanor. Well, there wasn't one. So when I was in court challenging this via writ of habeas corpus, there was no formula or procedure to follow. Like when I file it, the state has 15 days to file an answer. The court has an additional 20 days to do any findings, fact, conclusions of law, remands, whatever they want to do. And if not, at the end of that 35 days, the district clerk is required by law to forward everything to Court of Criminal Appeals for review. Well, there's nothing like that for the misdemeanor. So I kept writing to Whitmire, hey, bro, I got this clown judge over here just doing whatever. He's not even following, which would be called harmony in law. And when there is no procedure, no rules, diameters, guidelines, you go find the next closest statute that harmonizes what you're trying to do, which is 1107. So, hey, John, will you please either adopt or draft legislation so we can get it passed into law and added to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure for challenging a misdemeanor conviction? Yes, absolutely. Scout's honor. Okay? When I tell you folks, I'm a very weathered litigator. Been there, done it. I've been to every court. I knew who all the players are. So as this video flows and rolls, I'm going to show you what I got. And when I show you what I got, you're going to start getting sicker and sicker and more ill. and you're going to get to a point where you're almost going to want to vomit because you're so ill. Because I'm going to show you all the felonies you've been committing on the state level. Ooh, and wait till we get to federal level. Because you understand, in Texas, we have this thing where Texas likes to hold you in their prison until you either make parole or discharge your sentence. And if you have a federal sentence, once you complete your state sentence, then you can go do your federal time. They don't run concurrently. They are consecutively. So if you're even in federal prison, as soon as you get rid of that, guess where you're going? Boop, down to Texas. Texas likes to get its pound of flesh and eat it too. And when they're done, they're going to give you the leftovers, which is their shit. So we'll continue. So as I go, you're hearing my bona fides that I'm actually a genuine litigator, multiple published litigator, which I can always talk to an attorney and tell them that right off the bat. They're like, huh? Oh, yeah, I'm multi-published. You can go look in the Supreme Court Digest. Start with. If you got Pacer, go to Pacer. Just Google my full name. Then I get their attention. How is this guy published? Why does he know so much about the law and he's not an attorney or a lawyer or a licensed bar member? Because I studied my motherfucking ass off. I was in the law library for 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and 4 hours on Saturday. Every chance I could get. Reading, learning, drafting, making mistakes, learning from them. That's what I did. I was so terrifying. The fucking law librarian, Robert H. Quata Jr., and he's in my side of these lawsuits too, terrified of me. Changed prison policy behind me 110%. That dude used to get on the phone, call Frank Hoke at Access to Courts in Huntsville. Tell him, man, blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, there's a policy. And I'm like, what? That's clearly against what I'm doing. Oh, this bastard. Yeah. And it went on and on and on where I had to get him in court. So, here, like I told you, Court of Appeals, First District in Houston. I've been in the first, 14th, the third, the fourth, the fifth Fort Worth, sixth is I think Dallas. Been there. Then you got Eastland. Definitely got Corpus Christi. So yeah, I've pretty much been in all the courts of appeals as well. Appeal from order denying bail. So again, they set a bail for me in my misdemeanor DWI challenge on writ of habeas corpus. So at the time I did this, you can see it's like 2009. So that prior misdemeanor was from 1986. Yes, December 12th, 1986 is the offense date. That's how far back they can go get a DWI and use it to enhance your sentence or enhance your offense to a felony from a misdemeanor. And then if you're a dumbass like me who just didn't give a fuck when they were growing up and got a bunch of felonies, they habitualize you. And then you starting out at 25 to 99 or life. Guilty. Yeah, I took that to trial and I lost and I got 60 years, which is what they call a life sentence. Baby life sentences is the terminology that they use. Technically, I'm a lifer. Here I am. Went and did that and excelled, thrived, got educated. So now I'm going to run you through my education. Yeah. I'm going to give you a little schooling. So please pay attention to the words coming out of my mouth the words that you're hearing and seeing, okay? Because the words out of my mouth are specific and particular. I'm not talking just to hear myself talk. This is a Saturday afternoon. I've already spent 6 hours today. The time I woke up to right now while I'm making this video, and I still have an appointment at 6 p.m., 3 hours from now, to discuss this video with everybody. So this has already eaten up my time that I could actually be doing very positive things for myself, for humanity, for you guys. But instead, I'm here having to deal with this. So I'm going to lay it all out. This is going to look exactly what would happen in a grand jury proceeding with a district attorney or attorneys general presenting evidence to the grand jury to secure a felony indictment on the state level, i.e. Texas, as well as on the United States level. And if you haven't been paying attention, here in Houston, we have a very zealous U.S. Attorney General. He's been very active in the news. He likes being in the news. He's a very dapper guy, if you know what I mean. So he would love to have another television appearance. And if you don't believe me, go on YouTube and look for it. Do your own research. So we'll continue here. Oh, my bail on this case. Yeah, you know what my bail was? All right. This is in a 1986 DWI in which I was already going to prison for a felony for selling a quarter pound of cocaine to undercover narcotics officer. I can't say his name because he's still an undercover narcotics officer. He does not work for the Houston Police Department anymore. He works for a precinct for Harris County Constables. Still to this day, I know who he is. We have a mutual friend to this day that if I want to talk to him, I get his call him. I say, hey man, tell Bob come have lunch with me. Yeah, I wasn't fucked up about it. You know, it was business. It was cops and robbers. I was dirty. He caught me. Boom, end of story. Any of you guys remember City Under Siege on Fox 26 way back in the day here in Houston, where they used to have those raids? You know, where they just jump out of the vans and the cars and all their Ninja Turtle gear, and that happened to me. Academy parking lot right down here in the street, Bingle and 290. It's now Gold's Gym. That parking lot, absolutely. So quarter pound rock, 112 gram rock, one rock. Broke right off the kilo, baby. That's how I used to roll. Y'all don't get it. So anyway, so this bail for this misdemeanor DWI, in which I got 30 days in jail and a $100 fine, which clearly I did because I went to prison for 12 and a half years. That's a whole nother story. How I got that half. So when I challenged this on writ habeas corpus, I got an appeal bond, $1 million for a 30-year-old DWI, which I had already done the 30 days and the $100 fine. Yeah, you heard me correctly. $1 million. So a lot of these mandamuses you're seeing, I'm filing for a bond reduction. Okay, because this clown, Jay Carahan, my Harris County Criminal Court at Law judge, refused to, he just did what he wanted to do, however he wanted to do it, when he wanted to do it. And I challenged this, and it took me, I think, a year and a half. I finally got it reduced to a whopping $250,000. Man, I just reached in my back pocket and went, oh, man, I got some ramen soup. Y'all take soups and stamps? That's all I got. Got a bunch of stamps. If you ever been to prison, you got that like that. So here's another one: mandamus, inmate prisoner's rights. Now I'm suing TDCJ. Another one, TDCJ. These are filed. Excuse me. These are from Travis County. I'm losing my voice. Fuck. Um, these are from Travis County. These are for various things. I filed civil RICO under 18 USC 1962, as well as a section or Title 42 USC section 1983 for food service, housing, square footage, air conditioning, man, all kind of stuff. So as I see, I'm still scrolling. Here's one. This is a disciplinary case. So I sued the director, the executive director, the director, the lieutenant on my unit. This was for denying one of my visitors because he was on parole and did not have a letter from his parole officer, even though he was on my approved parole list. So he drove all the way to Huntsville to see me, and they denied him. So I sued him. And this is my assistant warden on my unit, Thomas Pierce. See, he's a defendant. This is the regional grievance investigator, Cheryl Lawson, sued her too. So she's like the your final arbiter for your grievances after you get off the unit. So you see, I challenged everybody. I didn't give a damn what their title was, who they were, how they were affiliated, whether or not they had any type of authority over whether or not I stayed in prison or got out of prison. That's why they called me fearless. You get it now? Because in prison in Texas, they will handcuff you behind your back and they will kick you off the top of the 4th tier stairs, and you will tumble down the fucking metal stairs until they get tired of kicking you until you get to 1 row, if you're still alive. Oh, I'm sorry, that didn't happen. That never happened. Allegedly. Remember, folks, I've been in prison riots. I've even tried to start a prison riot. I was the last one left in the day room, cussing the whole wing out because none of them had the fucking cojones to stand up in the day room and challenge these assholes. But there I was, cussing them out, calling them bitches and hoes, dick-sucking punks, all of them, whole cell block, all the way back to my house. I wasn't going to be the only one going to SEG, getting locked up and go to medium custody or closed custody behind, trying to get down for these fools. I'm just a get down guy. I don't got no dog in the fight, but y'all want to get down? Let's get down. Let's rock and roll this motherfucker. I'm down. I'm game. I ain't had no fun in a hot minute, man. Let's just blow this bitch out. Let's go have fun. They didn't want to do it. And we go on and on and on and on. That's the last one. So there's just a scintilla of my litigation that I found in the public as of 2016. You're more than welcome to go do your own searches. Okay? And I'm going to show you a little bit more of what I got. If you want to see the majority of it, go to the district clerk's office for Travis County, Texas, Walker County, Texas, and Harris County, Texas. Put in my name, boom, you'll get it. Okay? Man, Bear County keeps rolling in there, $200 Doloroso. Check Bear County, but I doubt anything's in Bear County. But you can check those 3 counties. That's where a lot of it is. And then, of course, you see I've got it on the federal level as well. Now, I did this warning notice, and I'm going to walk through this real quick because I want you to see where I'm going with this, okay? Because once I get through with this, and then I go through my next string, I'll tell you what. Let me give you a break there. Go through the cases real quick. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. As you see, I have an account with Pacer, which is public access to courts, electronic records. These are all federal cases on the U.S. District Court, U.S. Courts of Appeals, and United States Supreme Court. So as you see, here's the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. That's Tarvin versus Stevens, in which I did get published in the Supreme Court Digest. Tarvin versus Lori Davis, director. Again, the U.S. Court of Appeals, Fifth Circuit. Y'all want to go look at these? Here they are. More than welcome. Thomas versus Thaler, Thomas versus Thaler, Thomas versus Stevens, Tarvin versus Quarterman, Tarvin versus Charles Baccaris et al., Tarvin versus Baccaris et al., Tarvin versus Thaler, Tarvin versus Thaler, Tarvin versus Thaler, Tarvin versus U.S. District Court. And you see when most of this litigation started. And you can see how quickly it ended because something happened right about 2014. Yeah, 2014 is when I got investigated. January 14th on the WIN unit when I got locked up, investigated by the U.S. Secret Service, FBI, IRS, and U.S. Postal Inspector. Absolutely. Got kicked off the WIN unit, transferred to the Ellis 1 unit. Absolutely. So I wanted to run through you with this, and this is, just some of my litigation there, as you see. All right, let me get back down over here. I'm going to go through this warning notice. Now, remember, when I get done with this, some of you are going to be very, very, very ill. So, please, I'm warning you now. Can't handle this. You may want to bail now. These are the specific requirements for proving harassment and or cyberstalking under Texas Penal Code sections 42.07 and 42.092. Please go look these up yourself. You can do that right now as I walk through these. But this is all copy and pasted. Harassment. Number 1, intent. The actor must have intended to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass another person. Okay? So when you go over to my channel on social media or Mark Z's channel on social media, and you're being directed by a criminal who's operating in the state of Texas, we're going to get right down to that, and I'm going to explain to you how you just became an accomplice to criminal organized activity, whether you knew it or not. Because that's what you were over there for, is to what? Harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, and embarrass another person. So the communication, the harassment must involve 1, or more of the following: initiating communication. And I'm going to go through this, and if you would like, I can roll completely through the Telegram room for the RV will set you free and show you the initiation of Jayboi stating that I was on the air. And then every thread and post after that, all connected to harassment, where you guys came to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, and embarrass us. So, communication. If you want to go look it up, go look it up. But we know you weren't using a telephone to ring successively, but you sending repeated electronic communications. Well, you want to know what that looks like? Publishing repeated electronic communications on an internet website or a what? A social media platform. Number 3, reasonable likelihood. The communication must be made in a manner reasonably like to what? Harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass another person. Here I am spending 6 hours on my Saturday afternoon addressing this issue. I'm a little annoyed. Is an understatement. Criminal penalties. The offense is a Class C misdemeanor for the first offense, a Class B misdemeanor for your second offense, or a state jail felony, third or subsequent offense. Let's get into a seriouser offense, cyberstalking. Please go look this up, because now we're getting into some prison time, folks. Pattern of behavior. The actor must engage in a pattern of behavior that is directed at a specific person and would cause a reasonable person to feel threatened or fearful. Are you ready? Knowledge or reasonable belief. The actor must know or reasonably believe that the behavior would cause the victim to feel threatened or fearful. Number 3, electronic communications. The pattern of behavior must involve electronic communications such as emails, texts, or social media messages. Criminal penalties. Number 4, the offense is a felony of the 3rd degree for the first offense and 2nd degree for the second or subsequent offense. Common elements. Intent. In both sections of harassment and cyberstalking, the actor's intent is a crucial element. The intent must be to what? Harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass another person, or to cause fear or threatened harm. The reasonable likelihood. In both sections, cyberstalking and harassment, the communication or behavior must be made in a manner to reasonably likely to achieve the intended harm or fear. As I clearly have stated in my videos online, in and for the public record, under oath, that I am in fear of my life due to the posts that were published in RV Will Set You Free regarding I have a shovel and a coffin. That I take as a threat upon my life. I am in fear of my life. I am stating now that anybody that makes it anywhere around my property without my authorization explicitly, I will use deadly force to protect myself and my property. That's where I'm at with this. You think you were playing, having a good time, being all buddy-buddy, and oh, hey, we went and clicked and clowned that guy, didn't we? How does it feel to have somebody who has the key to the door to your prison cell talking to you? Remember, this is exactly what a district attorney, an assistant district attorney, a county attorney, if no district attorney is available, or an attorneys general on the state and federal level will do in a grand jury proceeding. Are you ready? Because I'm going to make a complete presentation. And then when I'm done, I want you to decide exactly where you fall in which category, if not all of them. If you're appalled, shocked, and in disbelief, ill, and now terrified, you should be. Am I going to hold you hostage? Well, I told you at the very beginning, the choice is yours. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm presenting facts under oath for your benefit, freely, voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently of my own free will. I don't have to do this. I can do what I'm doing right now and present it to the people that I will walk through right after I show you this document. And when I finish walking you through those individuals, you will be like, that motherfucker's got us. You are going to remember Fearless Floyd for the rest of your life, sadly. Hopefully it'll be in a joyous manner and not in a negative light, because I don't want to be a negative light in your life. I want to be a positive light in your life. I want to be the guy that gave you direction, that gave you sunlight, that disinfected the fraud, corruption, lies, and scams. Do you comprehend the words coming out of my mouth? Because they are chosen very carefully for you individually. I am talking to the masses, but this is directed to you individually. You know who you are. You know what your constitution is. You know what your conscience is telling you. You know that karma is a bitch and she holds grudges. Texas Penal Code 7.01, parties to offenses. A person is criminally responsible as a party to an offense if the offense is committed by his own conduct or her own conduct, by the conduct of another for which he or she is criminally responsible, or by both. B, each party to an offense may be charged with the commission of the offense. C, all traditional distinctions between accomplices and principals are abolished by this section, and each party to an offense may be charged and convicted without alleging that he or she acted as a principal or accomplice. Jurisdiction. Jurisdiction for any harassment and or cyberstalking complaints you experience during my show, The Fearless Floyd Show, are in the jurisdiction of the County of Harris, the state of Texas. And of course, I give you some alternatives where to file your own complaints. But again, I want you to go look up law parties, party to offenses. So let me explain this to you so you totally understand exactly what this means for you as the individual who has placated and participated with Sam Anderson and his illegal activities on the state federal level. Hey, let's go to Chili's and get some ribs. Are you good? You say yes. Boom. We get in my car. We drive. We're going to Chili's. You know we're going to Chili's because you've been there before. You know the way. But on the way, I say, hey, can I stop at Shell and get a pack of cigarettes? You say, sure. I pull into the Shell. I go in the Shell. I rob the Shell with my pop. I come out, get in the car. We drive off, go to Chili's, order ribs. We're chowing down, and boom, here comes the SWAT team. They throw down on us. We're face down, handcuffed, and mine are back. And you're like, what the hell just happened? What? So now we're in the back seat of the cop car, and you're like, man, I didn't do nothing. What the hell? And the cops are going, well, hey, you robbed that Shell station. You're like, I didn't rob anything. What do you mean I robbed? Did you rob the Shell station? Yeah, I robbed the Shell station. You're party to the offense. You didn't know about it. You didn't plan it. You didn't participate in it. You know nothing about it. Don't possess the gun. Don't possess the money. Parties to offense. Legally binding. You're in trouble. Are you sick yet? Oh, I have not even gotten to the good part. Okay. This isn't even the appetizer. Okay. This is the chips and salsa that just come because you walked in the door. Are you ready for some appetizers? Let me go get those for you. We already did the pacer locator, right? So let's go meet my associates. This is John Whitmire. John Whitmire is the current mayor of Houston. Go over here, John Harris Whitmire. I thought it was D. I don't know why I was thinking D. Anyway, he's an American attorney. He's a constitutional attorney and politician who has served as the 63rd mayor of Houston, Texas, the most populous city in Texas. Okay. He is a Democrat, as you see. He is a previous office. He's a member of the Texas State Senate from 1983 to 2023. He was also a Texas State representative prior to that from 73 to 83. So from 1973 to 2023, which is what, folks? 50 years he was in the Texas legislature. 50. Okay. Every time I was in prison, he was in the Texas legislature. And he happened to be over the Senate Criminal Justice Committee, which is over the prison system, over drafting laws, especially on the Penal Code. He is the co-author of the revision of the Texas Penal Code of September 1st, 1994, as I have told you. He also went to Scarborough High School's rival, Walter, S.P. Walter, located on 34th Street in Ella. Ella Boulevard. So, yeah, I didn't know that until just now that he's a rival. But he was there before, he graduated actually before Scarborough was even in existence, because Scarborough didn't start until 1967. How do I know that? Because my dad started there teaching the first day the school opened, when it was a junior and senior high school. So we're going to dive right into a little John Whitmire, latest news. That should be an H. Toto. So Houston Mayor John Whitmire calls for independent review. Cover up rapes and sweep them under the rug. Make rapists bad noises, appoints cronies to investigate them and sweep them under the rug. Okay, that's what they're talking about. But the Houston mayor forms a committee to review Houston Police Department's handling 264,000 cases, complaints filed with the Houston Police Department due to a lack of personnel, staffing shortages. Someone in the Houston Police Department created this specific code to apply to a complaint where staffing shortages and lack of personnel, that they couldn't investigate it, regardless of what the complaint was. So they applied this code to it, and it just disappeared. It was never investigated. Even if it was an aggravated sexual assault with a deadly weapon. Rape kits. So let's continue. Mayor Whitmire says city is broke following landmark. There needs to be sweeping law enforcement oversight. Texas, they couldn't stop Uvalde. Anyway, he points 5 people to do a report. And you can see there's his panel. This is where the former police chief, Troy Finner, is pretty much kicked to the curb. And here, Houston Chronicle. Mayor John Whitmer's independent panel to the HPD drop cases scandal found who approved the implementation of the lack of personnel. Okay. Whitmire stated on the record that will never happen again in Houston, Texas. Okay. There will be no more complaints to the Houston Police Department swept under the rug, regardless of what they are. Houston Police Officers Union. Board. Ray Hunt. Ray Hunt. Ray Hunt. Executive Director Ray Hunt. You want to email him? Email him. A native Houstonian, graduate of where? Scarborough High School. Wow. Didn't my dad teach there? Uh-huh. Didn't I go to junior high school there? Uh-huh. Didn't I go to senior high school there? Uh-huh. What year did you graduate, Floyd? 1980. Didn't Ray's brother Charlie graduate in 1980? Uh-huh. Yeah, I played football team. He was my receiver. He's throwing touchdown passes. Yeah, that one who works at the Southwest substation on Derry Ashford Road. Go look it up. So, Ray Hunt. What does this say? Charlie Hunt, police officer at HPD. Y'all think I'm playing with you, huh? HPOU board members, Houston Policemen's Union, the union, the union. Oh, that's who represents every police officer in Houston, the largest city in Texas. Huh. Wow. Who's that? Is that Ray Hunt? Native Houstonian, graduate of Scarborough High School. Married to his high school sweetheart, Amy. You don't think I know Amy too? Are you terrified yet? Are you sick to your stomach yet? Let me back that ass up for you. John D. Whitmire, we ain't sweeping no cases under the rug that get filed that are legitimate. Okay, gotcha. Well, I just so happen to know somebody who knows a couple cops in Houston. Just a couple. I don't need but one. Boom. And this is me. This is just my search. I went 5 deep just to show you guys what was available publicly. Here I am again mentioned. Okay, so let me go back one. You see, we're on number 4. We'll just scroll up real slow. Here's my video on the De La Rue currencies. It's even over here published there. Isn't that cool? That's when you know that you're going somewhere, when you're doing things that other people are publishing. And what most of you don't know is one of my prior videos is actually used in a college classroom as a teaching tool. Absolutely. You don't believe me? Remember the oath I took? Yes. If you want to know who my great aunt is, just go look her up. Jovita Idar. Jovitaidar. And you will find that she's on the back of a quarter. Yes, for the women's series. That's my great aunt. They honored her last year. I got tons of quarters behind me. Mm-hmm. I'm a real deal. All right. I don't know how I got linked to them, but there you go. Telegram Messenger. Go back one more. Here is my friends beyond the wall when I was locked up. And this is actually a picture from, I would say, 99 when my daughter was born. She's actually over here in my arms. They confiscated this picture when I was under investigation on the Wynn unit by the Secret Service, FBI, IRS, and Postal Inspector. So I no longer own that picture. They stole it from me. So some more stuff on me. I'm over here. What's that? Y'all think I'm playing. This is my buddy Andre, Dark Side, who got me back into the private side. He passed away, sadly. He has the anniversary coming up this October. You go try to find me if you want. Here's my video on Leg Day, Part 2. Supreme Court, Texas. Opinions. That's not mine. We'll go back one. Here's Leg Day, Part 1 of 2. If you've never seen this, here, I'll just pop this open for you for a hot minute. I'll just show you what Fearless Floyd's all about when it comes to work gym. Of course, it wants to be slow. Oh, it took me. Never mind. It took me over to Facebook, and that's. I crashed Firefox. Are you surprised? So, yeah, let me get back over here. Uh, okay. Okay. Oh, we didn't go through my stuff. So let me go back over here and finish this. And here we are on number 2. There's my leg day. Here's my store. Here you go. Jail mail. Here's when I was on the Ellis unit. There's my nickname because I'm the 4th. Lawsuits filed. This is against my ex for stealing my property. Connected investors. That's some real estate shit that I was involved in. This is where I was designated a vexatious litigant by the late Judge Keeling. I can't remember his first name. Keeling in the grand jury room in Walker County, Texas, against a assistant attorney general and a free world attorney that they hired that I didn't know. I thought was an attorney general. That's how dangerous I was inside prison. Okay. And to give you an example of what that looked like in that grand jury room, because I could look out the grand jury room and I'm looking at the main courtroom where the proceedings are happening. They're running the plea bargains through, and I'm in here. And I know everybody, you've seen the movie Con Air with Nicolas Cage and John Malkovich, right? Where they're handcuffed, they got their ankles handcuffed, they got the belt around them, they got the handcuffs, they got the lock box in between the handcuffs, right? Hang on, let me stop share real quick so you guys can see that. Okay, they got the box. They got this box. They slide on there and they lock, so you can't twist your arms like this. So you're locked in here. You're locked to your belt. Your ankles are locked. Okay, that's how I had to litigate in the grand jury room, exactly like that. And I got all these legal material in an onion sack, and I'm trying to dig it out and open it up on the thing. And I'm like, can y'all please unhandcuff me? I'm not going anywhere. The bailiff's right there. I mean, I'm looking at him. Nope. Come on, bro. Seriously? I got to litigate like this? They got four hands. I've got not even two. Nope. Then we got an argument about whether or not the judiciary courts of the state of Texas were for-profit corporations. And he was like, no, Texas is a republic. And I'm like, dude, I got the Dun & Bradstreet background business report right here and all this shit. I can find it. And of course I couldn't find it. And, you know, I'm just close to we are right here with Judge Keeling. Well, Your Honor, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on that matter, right? Yep. And that was it. Those are the situations that I have been in. So you think I'm scared of some fucking hood rat from Fort Worth, fucking Texas? Or Arkansas, or wherever the fuck that degenerate, low-life piece of shit's from? Really? God damn, man. I told y'all. Did I not? What's that say? What's that say? What's that say, folks? Beat yourself up, didn't you? Well, we ain't even got into the laws yet. Wait till I show you all these fucking felonies. All of them. Remember, we're in the grand jury room and I'm doing a presentation to the grand jury to secure, if not a felony indictment, but multiple count felony indictment. Insofar as even a potential federal RICO charge. Do you understand where you're at now? I'm going to roll the tape. So let's get rolling. And we should quit doing that. I hate when it does that. So let's roll over here. Texas Penal Code. Organized crime. Floyd, please don't go there. I have to. This is on defenses excluded. Okay. So it means there's no defense. Defense is excluded. It is no defense to the prosecution under 71.02 that one or more members of the combination are not criminally responsible for the object offense. One or more members or of the combination have been acquitted, have not been prosecuted or convicted, have been convicted of a different offense, or are immune from prosecution. A person has been charged with, acquitted, and or convicted of any offense listed under subsection A or section or of section 71.02, or once the initial combination of the three or more persons is formed, there is a change in the number or identity of persons in the combination as long as two or more persons remain in the combination and are involved in a continuing course of conduct constituting an offense under this chapter. Next. Whoops, went one too many. Texas Statutes Penal Code, Title 11, Organized Crime, Section 171.05, Renunciation Defense. Renunciation defense. A, it is an affirmative defense to prosecution under Section 71.02 under circumstances manifesting a voluntary and complete renunciation of the actor's criminal objective. The actor withdrew from the combination before a commission of an offense listed in 71.02A and took further affirmative action that prevented the commission of the offense. Are you seeing now of my offer to turn state's evidence? And you didn't listen. You ran and hid. When I asked you to appear, you disappeared. At your own choosing, your own free will. When I told you guys, y'all found the right one. Oh, you found the chosen one. Okay? I'm not the one. I'm the chosen one by default. Because I fight for the underdog. I fight for the ones who can't fight for themselves. If you ain't sick, oh, I got about 40 of these windows or these tabs to open up. And they get more and more convicting, convincing, and downright depressing. If you happen to be what? What? Combination. Criminal organization. You can go in. You can read this. I'm not going to read every one of these and all of them to you. I have them on the screen. You can read them as I speak. Texas Statutes Penal Code 71.022, coercing, inducing, or soliciting memberships in a criminal street gang. Oh my God, have you been recruiting? Have you been sending out solicitations to join your criminal group? A person commits an offense if the person knowingly causes, enables, encourages, recruits, or solicits another person to become a member of a criminal street gang, which, as a condition of initiation, admission, membership, or continued membership, requires the commission of any conduct which constitutes an offense punishable as a Class A misdemeanor or a felony. Did y'all hear that? That was a mic drop. It was a Bluetooth mic, but it was a mic drop. Would you like to continue on with this? What is it? It's a felony of the third degree. A second or subsequent offense is what? A felony of the second degree. Ooh, that might leave a little mark on you. So let's bump it on down. Next! Engaging in organized criminal activity. A person commits an offense if with the intent to establish, maintain, or participate in a combination or in the profits of a combination or as a member of a criminal street gang, the person commits or conspires to commit one or more of the following: murder, capital murder, arson, aggravated robbery, burglary, theft. Ooh, wow, theft. Okay. Boom. That's about all that applies there is theft. I hear there's a little bit of this going on. Somebody's looking for straw persons to purchase firearms. That's a federal offense. I don't even have it here. I didn't address it because I don't have the evidence. All I hear is hearsay, rumors, but it's a potentiality. I don't address it because everything that I'm addressing here, I have all the proof. I don't have to go searching anywhere else for no more proof. I've got all the screenshots. I've got videos. I've got recordings. I have it all. There's no escape. You can run. You can change your Telegram handle. You can delete your Telegram account, but you're documented. And if you think the state of Texas and the U.S. Attorney General's office can't get that information under a subpoena from a state district judge or a federal U.S. district judge, good luck. Good luck. So you're more than welcome to go read all this if you want. Because you're getting, it's some serious shit. You know why? Law parties. What other criminal offenses is he committing without your knowledge while you're associated with him? Huh? I'm not done. I'm not even close to done. Okay? What we have here is, I think the appetizer's coming, Floyd. Let's see, where was I at? Over here? That's organized crime. That's solicitation. Oh, that's engaging. There's organized crime definitions. Well, what really matters in statutes and codes are the definitions of the terms and phrases. So let's go find out what's what. What is a combination, Floyd? Combination means 3 or more persons who collaborate in carrying on criminal activities through carrying on criminal activities, although participants may not know each other's identity. Membership in the combination may change from time to time, and participants may stand in a wholesaler, retailer, or other arm's length relationship in illicit distribution operations. Conspires to commit means that a person agrees with one or more persons that they or one or more of them engage in conduct that would constitute the offense, and that the person and one or more of them perform an overt act in pursuance of the agreement. An agreement constituting conspiring to commit may be inferred from the acts of the parties. Criminal street gang. Oh, are you ready? Means 3 or more persons having a common identifying sign, symbol, or identifiable leadership who continuously or regularly associate in the commission of criminal activities. You're in a criminal street gang. Ding! How's it feel? Are you getting sick yet? I'm still on the state level. I ain't even got to the feds. Wait till we get to the feds. Because the state's going to get its pound of flesh first. Then you're going to have to go do that federal time. Can't do the time, don't do the crime. I live for time I live. For my crime is the time I give. I wrote that. Wrote that in 1983 when I first realized, man, I'm stuck here. Yeah. You ready? Disorderly conduct, related offenses, stalking. 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 A person commits an offense if the person, on one occasion, and pursuant to the same scheme or course of conduct that is directed specifically at another person, knowingly engages in conduct that constitutes an offense under 42.07, or the actor knows or reasonably should know the other person will regard as threatening. A, bodily injury or death for the other person. B, bodily injury or death for a member of the person's family or household, or for an individual with whom the other person has a dating relationship. Or that the offense will be committed against the other person's property. Or 2, causes the other person, a member of the other person's family or household, or individual with whom the other person has a dating relationship or be placed, blah, 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 doesn't apply to it. Number 3, would cause a reasonable person to fear bodily injury or death for himself or herself. Well, that would be me. So we're there. And remember, all these are what are called elements of the offense. Okay, so each one of these statutes under the Texas Penal Code have elements that must be, alleged in the indictment, proven to the trier of fact, whether it be a jury or a judge, beyond a reasonable doubt. There you go. That's it. Fear bodily injury or death for a member of the person's family or household, for an individual with whom the person has a dating relationship. Fear that an offense will be committed against the person's property, or feel harassed, annoyed, alarmed, abused, tormented, embarrassed, or offended. An offense under this section is a felony of the 3rd degree, except that the offense is a felony of the 2nd degree if the actor has previously been convicted of an offense under this section, or of an offense under any of the following laws that contain elements that are substantially similar to the elements of an offense under this section: laws of another state, the laws of a federally recognized Indian tribe, the laws of a territory of the United States, or federal law. I told you, we're getting ready to get into that, because that's when the actual meal proper comes, the meat and the potatoes. Okay, we're still at the appetizer stage here on the state level, and I hadn't even dove into the actual multitude of felonies that we're addressing here, because I've already definitely proven and classified that you are a criminal street gang in the state of Texas. Oh, by the way, did you know Sam Anderson lives and is based in Fort Worth, Texas? Do you also know that we have computer identification records of IP addresses coming from Sam's group? 2 of them are coming from Texas. One of them is definitely coming from Fort Worth, Texas. I wonder if that could be Sam Anderson. Well, if I was the attorney general or an assistant district attorney or county attorney, I would what? Issue a subpoena ducis tecum for that evidence to present before the grand jury, which I'm sure is not going to be very hard to obtain from whichever service provider that Sam Anderson uses in Fort Worth, Texas, because it is such a monopolized industry that generally it's going to be Comcast, Xfinity, or one of those. So it's not going to be hard to find, not going to be hard to get. And we've been recording it for a while. Okay. This has been an ongoing thing. When Jayboi came and attacked me the first time, when I clowned him in one of his posts, which was apt, and now if you go back and look at it in hindsight, 100% applicable. Fearless Floyd was correct. Obviously, y'all didn't listen, so I let it slide. Well, guess what? You're sliding now. So, for the purpose of this section, a trier of fact, and remember, what did I say? There are specific words and terms coming out of my mouth during this presentation. Listen carefully. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know how to speak legalese. Do you? Do you understand Latin? Do you possess a Black's Law Dictionary? Burton's Legal Thesaurus? Probably not. I have them right behind me. In fact, tell you what, Give you guys a little peeky peek. See these books down here? That's Georgetown Law Journal, Texas Business Commerce Code Plus, O'Connor's with forms, Texas DWI Law and Practice Handbook, West Texas Rules of Court Federal, West Texas Rules of Court State, the winning brief, one, hard to read this. The winning brief, 100 tips for persuasive briefing in trial and appellate courts, second edition. Next one, Chicago Manual of Style, Burton's Legal Thesaurus, Black's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, Webster's New 20th Century Dictionary, Volume 2, the New American Heritage Dictionary of the English language from 1982 that I brought out of prison with me. Here is the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure published by the Texas District and County Attorneys Association. Yeah, I got their playbooks. And then I have a series on drinking, driving, litigation, criminal and civil, federal post-conviction remedies and relief handbook. This is actually a real estate continuing learning education hours that, because I am so smart, people ask me to take their stuff for them and pass it. And I've never been to real estate school. I just happen to be a smart guy. But you didn't hear that from me. That's all allegedly. So that's just a small section of what I managed to maintain and bring out of prison with me. I've had hundreds of legal books. So we're going to continue on with the show. Bump it on down over here. Where are we at? Should be right here. Oh, yeah, there we go. Right on it, Floyd. So we pretty much killed that one on stalking. Right? Right? Got it down. Exactly what's going on. What are y'all doing? Cause a reasonable person to feel harassed, annoyed, alarmed, abused, tormented, embarrassed, or offended. Well, not only is that coming from me, but you've got all these other social media hosts, co-hosts, and guests that you have attacked as well. And when they see this video, guess what's going to happen? Heads are going to roll! Again, you're more than welcome to turn state's evidence and flip-flop on your boy, Jayboi. Jayboi is going down. Y'all ready? Bump it on down. Next! You can tell I used to work in a prison in the classification office, running inmates through there when they just get to the unit. Yeah. Disorderly conduct and related offenses. Harassment. Should I even have to go through this one? Okay. What is it? I've already gone through it. There you go. There you go. Boom. Should I go on and on and on? Next. Terroristic threat. A person commits an offense if he threatens to commit any of the offense involving violence to any person or property with the intent to cause a reaction of any type to his threat by an official or volunteer agency organized to deal with emergencies. Place any person in fear of imminent, serious bodily injury. Y'all hear that mic drop again? Do you see what you're involved with? Do you see what you've done to yourself? Remember, we're still on the state level. When I get to the federal level, I'm going to light your ass up. You are going to be so sick, so disappointed, so ill, so shocked, so shattered of all the fucking felonies you've been committing over the last 18 months, fucking around with a very skilled con man who's still trying to coerce you into believing that he's the savior. So, should we go on? Cause impairment or interruption of public communications, public transport, or any other public service. Well, I'm trying to give a public service on my show. Just scrolling. Next. Punishments. Second-degree felony punishment. For those of you who want to continue your criminal enterprise, they got something for you here. An individual adjudged guilty of a felony of the second degree shall be punished by imprisonment in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for any term not more than 20 years or less than 2. In addition to imprisonment, the individual adjudged guilty of a felony of the second degree may be punished by a fine not to exceed $10,000. And let me tell you what you don't see on the end of that. Restitution. Civil suits and forfeiture. Yes, you can be civilly sued. Absolutely. All that wealth that you have coming, is it in your trust yet? Because as of today, you're on notice. Guess what? If I want to sue you, I can ream you. You think? All I got to do is file a civil RICO and put every one of you on there. Then I become a private attorney general. Go look it up in the United States Supreme Court. Have all the powers of a attorney general. Interrogatories, depositions, affidavits, subpoena duce tecums. Oh, yeah. Remember, I have a very zealous U.S. Attorney General in Houston, Texas, at 515 Rusk Avenue, or Rusk Street, downtown Houston. Remember that. I also have who? Ray Hunt and John Whitmire. See, y'all think this is a little thing y'all came over and played with Fearless Floyd, but see, y'all been doing this to everybody. Not just me. I know y'all have done it to Mark. I know y'all did it to John Dowling. I'm sure there are many others out there who I don't know, who are applauding everything that I've done. This isn't something I asked to do, so this isn't anything I want to do, nothing I need to do either. But apparently, nobody has the fucking balls or honor, good faith, and clean hands to stand up against a fucking career criminal, except me. And here I am. Y'all found the right one. So I'm going to be the chosen one. Are you ready? Let's dive into what a third-degree felony punishment looks like. Ordinary felony punishments, 1234, third-degree felony punishment. Third-degree felony punishment, individual or judge guilty of a felony of the third degree shall be punished by imprisonment in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for any term of not more than 10 years or less than 2. And again, the $10,000 fine applies, as well as restitution. Let me explain to you what restitution looks like. You're in prison and your people send you some money for commissary. Guess what? Seized. Paid out to your victims. So every penny you get goes to your victims, no matter who sends it to you or how they send it to you. They use jpay.com or they send it through the inmate trust fund. What do you mean I didn't get the money? Yeah. Child support? Bloop. What do you mean? Court fees? Bloop. Fuck. Remember, they changed prison policy behind me. I'm one bad motherfucker. Count on it. Everywhere I've been in prison, they fucking terrified of me, watching me, waiting to see what I'll do, so I don't fuck their system up. Are we going to continue? Sure we are. Let's continue, Floyd. Are y'all sick yet? I'll go get y'all something to eat and come back. Ordinary misdemeanor punishments, 1221. Class A misdemeanor. Class A misdemeanor, and this is just simple harassment. You just went and did it one time. An individual, a judge, guilty of a Class A misdemeanor shall be punishable by a fine not to exceed $4,000 and or confinement in a jail for a term not to exceed 1 year or both fine and confinement. If you want to go spend a year in Harris County Jail, knock yourself out. You're probably going to get out early for good time, if you can earn good time.
No, we don't.
If you don't become a punk by one of the illegal immigrants that are here who don't give a damn about nothing, and you get gang raped every night because you ain't got shit, can't hold your own. You're just a keyboard warrior. The only thing that's strong about you is your finger muscles. Everything else is weak about you. Am I describing you? I hope not. See, this is why I want to be the best at all times, everything I can be. I want to be the best physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, verbally, intellectually, all of that. I strive to be the best. That's why when I tell you guys I don't know, that means I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass and say some legalese to make you think that I know what the fuck I'm talking about when I've just made it all up just to make myself look smart. No, I don't need that. I am smart. I am intelligent. I know my own constitution. I know my strengths and weaknesses. Absolutely. And you stepped in one of my major strengths, probably the strongest of all my attributes and skills. Absolutely. You ready for the next one? Still in state. Classification of felonies. Got the capital felonies. Felonies of the first degree, second degree, third degree, and then state jail felonies. State jail felonies are 0 to 2 years in a state jail facility, which is still a prison, run by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice State Jail Division. Then felonies of the third degree, second degree, and capital. Okay. These three right here, they'll get you in the TDCJ Correctional Institution Division. This one, if you get convicted and get a death penalty, you'll be on the Polunsky unit in Livingston, Texas, on death row, where my buddy John Falk is right now. Yeah. or my other buddy, Thomas Miller L., got pulled off, got commuted to a life sentence. He was on the wing unit with me. And then Falk's fall partner, who's already been executed, waived all his rights to appeal. Y'all fucking with the right one. Statute of limitations. Because there's always a statute of limitations on your offense. So you've been tagged. You've been notified. The statute of limitations tolling, T-O-L-L-I-N-G, tolling has commenced. So let's see what this is. Except as provided by Articles 12.015 and 12.03. Felony indictments may be presented within these limits and not afterward, okay? This is Texas Code of Criminal Procedure right there. These are articles, not sections. Okay, murder, manslaughter, sexual assault, no limitation. Okay, so we're going to go down here. Beep, 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 beep. All that's about 10 years from the date of the commission of the offense, theft of any estate, real, personal, or mixed by an executor, administrator, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't apply. Theft by public servant, that doesn't apply. Forgery or uttering using forged instruments, that doesn't apply. Injury, sexual assault, arson, no. 7 years from the commission of the offense, no, we'll keep rolling down here. 5 years from the date of the commission of the offense for theft and robbery, no, keep going. 5 years from the date of the commission of the offense for theft, robbery, injury, insurance fraud. No, not that either. This is for a victim. No. 10 years after the date the offense was discovered, trafficking and disabled. No. That's not it either. Where was it? 6. So here's. Nope. 4. Where's 3? Uh-oh. Well, where'd it go? It was here. Yeah, that's that one. I'm looking for it. I can't seem to find it, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 years. And that would be for the harassment and the cyberstalking. I can pull out the book and look for it, but yeah, just take my word for it. 3 years. That's pretty much minimum. Here's 2 years. Oh, here it is. Yep, there I was looking for. Number 9. 3 years from the date of the commission of the offense, all other felonies. There's your cyberstalking felony. So 3 years from whatever day y'all decided y'all wanted to come bombard my show last week. 3 years. I control the key to the gates of hell. That's a statute of limitations for me to report a criminal offense in the state of Texas. Are y'all ready? Here comes the entree, the meat and potatoes. As again, we always have to go to the definitions because we need to know what words mean as applicable to the elements of the offense, statutes, and codes. So, course of conduct. The term course of conduct means a pattern of conduct composed of 2 or more acts evidencing a continuity of purpose. Sorry. State. The term state includes a state of the United States, District of Columbia, and the Commonwealth Territory, possession of the United States. Travel in interstate or foreign commerce. The term travel in interstate or foreign commerce does not include travel from one state to another by an individual who is a member of an Indian tribe and who remains at all times in the territory of an Indian tribe which the individual is a member. There you go. So basically all we're looking for right there is just what? Course of conduct. Next. Repeat offenders. The maximum term of imprisonment. Maximum term imprisonment for a violation of this chapter after prior domestic violence or what? A stalking offense. Stalking shall be twice the term otherwise provided under this chapter. Huh? Say it again, Floyd. The maximum term of imprisonment for a violation of this chapter after a stalking offense shall be twice the term otherwise is provided under this chapter. Uh-oh. 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 The term prior domestic violence or stalking offense means a conviction for an offense under 2261, 2261A, or 2262. Where are we at, Floyd? We're 2265. Okay, well, let's go look at those. So again, what the state means. Full faith and credit given to protection orders. Any protection order issued that is consistent with the subsection B of this section by the court of one state, Indian tribe, or territory, the issuing state, Indian tribe, or territory shall be accorded full faith and credit by the court of another state, Indian tribe, or territory, the enforcing state, Indian tribe, or territory, and enforced by the court and law enforcement personnel of the other state, Indian tribe. So that means if you have a protection order in Texas, it applies in any other state, territory, or Indian territory. Okay, so the full faith and credit applies to them that what you have is genuine. Okay, here's the rest of it. Just so you know, I'm not hiding anything. I'm not giving you the full faith and credit. So we're going to bump it on down. Next. Restitution in general, notwithstanding section 3663 and 3666A, 3A, in addition to any other civil or criminal penalty authorized by law, the court shall order restitution for any offense under this chapter. Scope and nature of order. Y'all would like to get into this. The order of restitution under this section shall direct the defendant to pay the victim through the appropriate court mechanism the full amount of the victim's losses as determined by the court pursuant to paragraph 2. Enforcement order of restitution under this section shall be issued and enforced in accordance with section 3664 in the same manner as an order under section 3663A. Definition. For purpose of this subsection, the term full amount of the victim's losses includes any costs incurred by the victim by the victim, by the victim, by the victim. 4. Medical services related to physical, psychiatric, or psychological care, physical or occupational therapy or rehabilitation, necessary transportation, temporary housing, and child care expenses, lost income, attorney's fees, plus any costs incurred obtaining a civil protection order, veterinary services, if you have a pet, any other losses suffered by the victim as a proximate result of the offense. Order mandatory. The issues of a restitution order under this section is mandatory. A court may not decline to issue an order under this section because the economic circumstances of the defendant, even if he's a broke dick, hustling con liar who's living on the graft of his membership, his criminal street gang, or the fact that the victim has or is entitled to receive compensation for his or her injuries from the proceeds of insurance or any other source. Victim defined. For the purposes of this section, the term victim means the individual harmed as a result of the commission of a crime under this chapter, including, and in the case of a victim who is under the age of 18, incompetent, incapacitated, or deceased, the legal guardian of the victim or representative of the victim's estate, another family member, or any other person appointed as suitable by the court, but in no event shall the defendant be named as such representative or guardian. Okay, there you go. Are you a victim? Are you a participant? Choose wisely, grasshopper. Next, 2261A, stalking. And by the way, folks, Title 18, these are federal criminal codes. Stalking. Whoever, okay, travels in interstate or foreign commerce or is present within the special maritime or territorial jurisdiction of the United States or enters or leaves Indian country with the intent to kill, injure, what? Harass, intimidate, or place under surveillance with the intent to kill, injure, harass, or intimidate another person, and in the course of or as a result of such travel or presence engages in conduct that places that person in reasonable fear of death of or serious bodily injury to that person, an immediate family member as defined in Section 115 of that person, a spouse or intimate partner of that person, or the pet, service animal, motor support animal, or horse of that person, or causes, attempts to cause, or would reasonably expected to cause substantial emotional distress to a person described in clause I, double I, triple I of subparagraph A, or with the intent to kill, injure, harass, intimidate, or place under surveillance with the intent to kill, injure, or harass. So we'll just use harass and harass or intimidate another person, uses the mail or any interactive computer service or electronic communication service or electronic communication system of interstate commerce or any other facility of interstate or foreign commerce to engage in a course of conduct that places that person in reasonable fear of death or of serious bodily injury to a person, pet, service animal, emergency support, or horse described in those clauses, or causes, attempts to cause, or would reasonably expected to cause substantial emotional distress to a person described in clauses 1 through 3 of paragraph 1A shall be punished as provided by in section 2261B or section 2261B as the case may be. There you go. Stalking. Next. Civil investigative demand. Whenever the Attorney General has reason to believe that any person or enterprise may be in the possession, custody, or control of any documentary materials relevant to a racketeering investigation, he or she may, prior to the institution of a civil or criminal proceeding thereon, issue in writing or cause to be served upon such person a civil investigative demand requiring such person to produce such material for examination. Each such demand shall state the nature of the conduct constituting the alleged racketeering violation which is under investigation and the provision of law applicable thereto, describe the class or classes of documentary material produced thereunder with such definitiveness and certainty as to permit such material to be fairly identified. State that the demand is returnable forthwith or prescribe a return date which will provide a reasonable period of time within which the material so demanded may be assembled and made available for inspection and copying or reproduction, and identify the custodian to whom such material shall be made available. No such demand shall contain any requirements which would be held to be unreasonable if contained in a subpoena ducis tecum issued by the Court of the United States in aid of a grand jury investigation of such alleged racketeering violation, or require the production of any documentary evidence which would be privileged from disclosure if demanded by a subpoena ducis tecum issued by a court of the United States in aid of a grand jury investigation of such alleged racketeering activity. Service of any such demand or any petition filed under this section may be made upon a person by delivering a duly executed copy thereon to any partner, executive officer, managing agent, or general agent thereof, or to any agent thereof authorized by appointment or by law to receive service process on behalf of such person or upon any individual person. That falls under the notice of principal doctrine. See Restatements, second, section 3. Ha ha ha. You didn't think I could cite shit? Number 2, delivering a duly executed copy thereof to the principal office or place of business of the person to be served, or depositing any such copy in the United States mail. That would be the mailbox rule. Go see it under the Supreme Court. By registered or certified mail duly addressed to such person at its principal office or place of business. A verified return by the individual serving such a demand or petition setting forth in the manner of such service shall be prima facie proof that such service, in the case of service by registered certified mail, such return shall be accompanied by the return post office receipt of the delivery of such demand. That's what's called your firm mailing book. Yeah, I got one right here somewhere. I got them over here, bro. Firm mailing books. Never used one? You better get hip. I publish them. Go to my website. Think I ain't on my game. I told y'all I'm the chosen one. Y'all chose me. How's it feel? The Attorney General shall designate a racketeering investigator to serve as racketeer document custodian, and such additional racketeering investigators as he or she shall determine from time to time be necessary to serve as deputies to such officer. Okay, I can go through this right here. As you see, it's lengthy, but when you file a civil RICO as a private individual, you become a private attorney general with all of these authorities. You think I'm kidding? You better go read that case law in the Supreme Court Digest, like I had to. Go read it. Do yourself a favor. Research. Next, evidence. Ooh. Guess where we're at, folks? Do you know? Do you know where we're at? Right here. We are in the racketeering influenced corrupt organization section of Title 18 Federal RICO. So here's a civil investigative demand. This gives the authority to the attorneys general. And if you file a civil suit, you become a private attorneys general. 67, evidence. I'm going backwards for a reason. Any proceeding ancillary to or in any civil action instituted by the United States under this chapter, the proceedings may be open or closed to the public at the discretion of the court after consideration of the rights of affected persons. Bam! Next. Expedition of actions. In any civil action instituted under this chapter by the United States in any district court of the United States, the Attorney General may file with the clerk of such court a certificate stating that in his opinion or her opinion, the case is of general public importance. A copy of that certificate shall be furnished immediately by such clerk to the chief judge, or in his absence, her absence, to the presiding district judge of the district in which such action is pending. Upon receipt of such copy, such judge shall designate immediately a judge of that district to hear and determine action. Next, venue and process. Any civil action or proceeding under this chapter against any person may be instituted in the District Court of the United States for any district in which such person resides, is found, has an agent, or transacts his affairs. Wow. That's going to suck for you guys having to go to Puerto Rico where Mark Z does his show. Gonna suck for you guys, ain't it? You seeing where I'm going with this? See how effective I am? Are you sick yet? I'm not, man, I just got into the federal shit. I got at least 30 more fucking tabs to open. At least. I'm going to tie you up in a fucking knot so tight, so big, so bold, nobody's going to be able to untie you. Not your mommy, not your daddy, not your husband, not your wife, not your girlfriend, not your boyfriend, not Sam Anderson. Civil remedies. The district courts of the United States shall have jurisdiction to prevent and restrain violations of Section 1962 of this chapter, which I'm getting ready to get into, by issuing appropriate orders, including but not limited to ordering any person to divest himself or herself in any interest, direct or indirect, in any enterprise, which would be the criminal enterprise, imposing reasonable restrictions on the future activities or investments of any person, including but not limited to prohibiting any person from engaging in the same type of endeavor as the enterprise engaged in. Wow, you're trying to suppress people that are trying to go exchange their currency. You're interfering with commerce. Do you comprehend what you are doing? Do you now see the seriousness of your fallacies? Or you thought you were just having fun? Where you bragged about embarrassing somebody, abusing somebody, harassing somebody, stalking somebody. It's all documented. Every time you went over and attacked Mark Z, your IP address has been recorded. And that's just what I know of Mark Z. I know he has passed that software technology over to others who have been utilizing it as well. Now, guess who holds that lever for those others? Me, the chosen one? Because when they all see this video, and they're going to see it, guess what? Heads are going to roll. Are you going to be one of them? Do you want to be tied up in some kind of criminal litigation so when the RV does happen, guess what? You're fucked. You fucked yourself. You're going to walk in there and you're already on a list. They already know. Because I guarantee you this will make it up to the U.S. Treasury, where they have a record of everybody buying currency from licensed Treasury dealers on eBay, Safe Dinar, CEIFX, Banknote World, Trillions.com. Oh, yeah. They know who's got what. The fuck you think the Secret Service came and investigated me for? Why? Because I had promissory notes. gold bonds, silver bonds, GSA forms. I had so much material, I blew their goddamn mind. So bad did I blow their mind that to this day they still have all my confiscated property and refused to give it back even after I got out of prison. Called up Kelly Strong, said, "Hey, Warden Strong, can I get my property back now? I'm out." Tarvin, you're never getting that property back. Really? Why's that? You're not getting it back, Tarvin. Well, you know, I can get the same stuff out here in the world. Well, you're not getting this stuff back. Well, all right. Okay. That's how y'all want to play. Y'all want to be thieves. That's karma on them. The only picture I had of me and my daughter, the only picture, they took it from me. So that's on them. That's on their conscience. I'll let God deal with that. So, y'all want to dive into this? Y'all really want to read this? The Attorney General may institute proceedings under this section pending final determination thereof. The court may at any time enter such restraining orders or prohibitions or take such other actions, including the acceptance of satisfactory performance bonds, as it shall deem proper. Any person injured in his business or property by reason of a violation of Section 1962 of this chapter may sue, therefore, in any appropriate United States District Court and shall recover threefold the damages he sustains and the cost of the suit, including reasonable attorney fees. I'm going to self-litigate, so I charge a lot of money per hour, by the way, because I'm very good at what I do, as you see. Okay? So, except that no person may rely upon any conduct that would have been actionable as fraud in the purchase or sale of securities to establish a violation of Section 1962. Did you hear that? Yeah. You want me to repeat it? The exception contained in the preceding sentence does not apply to an action against any person that is criminally convicted in connection with the fraud, in which the case of statute of limitations shall start to run on the date on which the conviction becomes final. A final judgment or decree rendered in favor of the United States in any criminal proceeding brought by the United States under this chapter shall stop the defendant from denying the essential allegations of the criminal offense in any subsequent civil proceeding brought by the United States. But let me tell you, okay, you get convicted in federal criminal court and you get taken to civil court under civil RICO, bam, you're going to lose right off the bat. You don't believe me? Go check out Georgia's RICO statutes. Floyd, you didn't go read Georgia's RICO statutes regarding Trump's Fulton County case, did you? Of course I did. Got me fucked up. Criminal penalties. Whoever violates any provision of Section 1962 of this chapter shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or life if the violation is based on a racketeering activity for which the maximum penalty includes life imprisonment or both, and shall forfeit to the United States, irrespective of any provision of state law, any interest the person has acquired or maintained in violation of Section 1962, any interest in, security of, claim against, or property or contractual right of any kind affording a source of influence over any enterprise which the person has established, operated, controlled, conducted, or participated in the conduct of in violation of Section 1962, and any property constituting or derived from any proceeds which the person obtained directly or indirectly from racketeering activity or unlawful debt collection in violation of Section 1962, the court, in imposing sentence on such person, shall order, in addition to any other sentence imposed pursuant to this section, that the person forfeit to the United States all property described in the subsection, in lieu of a fine otherwise authorized by this section. A defendant who derives profits or other proceeds from an offense may be fined not more than twice the gross profits or other proceeds. Would y'all like to continue on with this? Because it's fairly lengthy. You're more than welcome to peruse these on your own. I've already read all of these multiple times, all the case law that goes behind every one of these. because I have filed multiple, more than 1, 2, 3 civil RICOs. I had to do an investigation for the food service in violating the RICO statute with the American Correctional Association, certifying Texas prison units as meeting the mandatory requirements to become a certified unit under the ACA. However, my investigation came up with that they obviously, clearly, not one prison unit in the state of Texas adheres or meets or exceeds the mandatory language in the ACA accreditation manual for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Y'all think I'm fucking around. I told you, I had these people so over a barrel, they would not let me win everything I did. They fucking fraud, corruption, miscite laws, adopt states' briefs as their opinions. I've been through it all. So, as I said, y'all found the chosen one. We're going to go on the next one. See, that's very lengthy. Those are the criminal penalties. Let's just put it this way. You get convicted of a criminal RICO, you're going to spend some fucking time behind bars. Prohibited activities. These are the Title 18 United States Codes, criminal felony offenses that apply to the RICO statute under the federal criminal codes. A, it shall be unlawful for any person who has received any income derived directly or indirectly from a pattern of racketeering activity or through a collection of unlawful debt in which such person has participated as a principal within the meaning of Section 2, Title 18, United States Code, to use or invest directly or indirectly in any part of such income or the proceeds of such income in the acquisition of any interest in or establishment or operation of any enterprise in which is engaged in, or activities of which affect interstate or foreign commerce. Are your bells ringing? Does all this sound vaguely familiar to you? A purchase of securities on the open market for the purposes of investment and without the intention of controlling or participating in the control of the issuer or assisting another to do so shall not be unlawful under this section if the securities of the issuer held by the purchaser, the members of his immediate family, or his or their accomplices in any pattern of racketeering activity or the collection of an unlawful debt after such purchase do not amount in the aggregate to 1% of the outstanding securities of any one class and do not confer either in law or in fact the power to elect one or more directors of the issuer. B, it shall be unlawful for any person through a pattern of racketeering activity or through collection of unlawful debt to acquire or maintain directly or indirectly any interest in or control of any enterprise which is engaged in or the activities which affect interstate or foreign commerce. Mark as advertisers. You're interrupting commerce. And there's a pattern, and there's more than two of you, and you do it over a period of time to multiple places and people. You're getting a little ill. I told you I'm going to make you vomit this entire 5-course meal that I'm serving up to you. When I get done, you're going to be curled up sick as a dog. It shall be unlawful for any person employed by or associated with any enterprise engaged in or the activities of which affect interstate or foreign commerce to conduct or participate directly or indirectly in the conduct of such enterprises' affairs through a pattern of racketeering activity or collection of all unlawful debt D, it shall be unlawful for any person to conspire to violate any of the provisions of subsection A, B, or C of this section. Oh, sorry, hit the wrong arrow. Definitions. Number one, racketeering activity means, okay, any act or threat involving murder, kidnapping, gambling, arson, robbery, bribery, extortion, dealing in an obscene manner, or dealing in a controlled substance listed in chemical as defined by the Controlled Substance Act, which is chargeable under state law, punishable by prison, so we're not dealing with drugs. So, boom. Okay. Or B, any act which is indictable under the following provisions of Title 18 United States Codes. Okay. These are the different criminal codes, which we're going to get down to here on my left. Okay. I went and pulled them all up. Look at all those. Look at all those. Enterprise includes any individual, partnership, corporation, association, or other legal entity, and any union or group of individuals associated, in fact, although not a legal entity. Bam! Criminal street gang. Person includes any individual or entity capable of holding a legal or beneficial interest in property. State means where? Puerto Rico. Y'all gonna get some diesel therapy. Y'all don't know what diesel therapy is? Diesel therapy is when you gotta catch that chain, baby. And you get to ride that bus. So that means you get to ride the bus from Houston, Texas, probably to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, maybe Orlando, and then you're going to catch a flight to Puerto Rico. Then you're going to get on another chain bus, and then you go to Puerto Rico's jail, wherever that is. How you like me now, baby? Y'all still want to come over and fuck with Fearless Floyd? Come on, man. I dare you. Pattern of racketeering activity requires at least 2 acts of racketeering activity, one which occurred after the effective date of this chapter, obviously, and the last of which occurred within 10 years, excluding any period of imprisonment, after the commission of a prior act of racketeering activity. How far back have y'all been doing this? Y'all don't think there's a pattern of racketeering activity? Because we're fixing to get into the actual criminal offenses that you've been committing. Knowingly, unknowingly, principal or agent, there too. Welcome to the world of Sam Anderson, where you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, listening to a stupid person. You got. Tag, you're it. And you know what? You chose yourself. Racketeering investigator means any attorney or investigator so designated by the Attorney General and charged with the duty of enforcing or carrying into the effect of this chapter. Racketeering investigation means any inquiry conducted by any racketeering investigator for the purpose of ascertaining whether any person has been involved in any violation of this chapter or of any final order, judgment, decree of any court in the United States duly entered in any case or proceeding arising under this chapter. Documentary material includes any book, paper, document, record, recording, or other material. Attorney General. There's the description of all the power, who they are. So, y'all want to just run through these real quick? Relating to bribery, sports bribery, relating to counterfeiting, theft from interstate shipment. Go down here where I know. This is the one I brought up earlier, relating to straw purchasing for the firearms, relating to trafficking in firearms. Like I said, that's hearsay. I don't know if that's true or not, but hey, this is what y'all are involved in. Y'all better check yourselves. But here we go. Section 1341, relating to mail fraud, relating to wire fraud. 1344, relating to financial institution fraud. Go down here. 1503, relating to obstruction of justice. 1510, relating to obstruction of criminal investigations. 1511, relating to the obstruction of state or local law enforcement. 1512, relating to tampering with a witness, victim, or informant. 1513, relating to retaliating against a witness, victim, or informant. 1542, relating to false statement and application use of a passport. Not going to use that, but I can go on. Let's just dive over here to the next one. Racketeer, influenced and corrupt organizations. Just wanted to show you that what the actual codes are that we just went through. Next, 1960, prohibition of unlicensed money transmitting business. A, whoever knowingly conducts, controls, manages, supervises, directs, or owns all or part of an unlicensed money transmitting business shall be fined in accordance with this title or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both. As used in this section, the term unlicensed money transmitting business means money transmitting business which affects interstate and foreign commerce in any manner or degree and is operated without any appropriate money transmitting license in a state where such operation is punishable as a misdemeanor or a felony under state law, whether or not the defendant knew that the operation was required to be licensed or that the operation was so punishable. Because it sounds to me like Jayboi was acting as a unlicensed security broker. Y'all send me money, I'll buy your Zim, I'll go redeem it, and then I will pay you out. Sounds like a securities broker to me. Exactly what that sounds like. But did you file a complaint? Now you know why I'm the chosen one. Would y'all like to continue on with this? The term money transmitting can include transferring funds on behalf of the public or by any and all means, including but not limited to transfers within this country or to locations abroad by wire, check, draft, facsimile, or courier. And the term state means any state of the United States, District of Columbia, Northern Mariana Islands, in any Commonwealth, territory, possession of the United States, including Puerto Rico. Call my name, baby. Violent crimes in aid of racketeering activity. Whoever, as a consideration for the receipt of or as consideration for a promise or agreement to pay anything of pecuniary value from an enterprise engaged in racketeering activity or for the purpose of gaining entrance to or maintaining or increasing position in an enterprise engaged in racketeering activity, murders, kidnaps, maims, assaults with a dangerous weapon, commits assault resulting in serious bodily injury upon, or threatens to commit a crime of violence against any individual in violation of laws of any state or the United States, or attempts or conspires to do so. I'm in fear of my life. Shall be punished for threatening to commit a crime of violence by imprisonment for not more than 5 years or a fine under this title or both. Do you see how these months start stacking up? Because that 5 years, that's 60 months, and they do months in the BOP. So you see that we got a lot of nickels coming your way. Nickels and dimes, baby. Are you ready? I told you. I'm going to make you fucking sick to your stomach. Because you know what? This recording, all it's got to do is go to an assistant attorney general, the attorney general's office, to a law enforcement officer, to a county attorney, to a district attorney, assistant district attorney, a chief law enforcement officer, maybe somebody like Ray or John, or very zealous U.S. attorney in Houston who's trying to make the news every chance he can get. Fuck around, find out, folks. Engaging in monetary transactions and property derived from specified unlawful activity. Whoever, in any of the circumstances set forth in subsection D, which is below, knowingly engage or attempts to engage in any monetary transaction and criminally derived property of value greater than $10,000 and is derived from specified unlawful activity shall be punished as provided in subsection B, except as provided in paragraph 2, which is down here. The punishment for an offense under this section is a fine under Title 18 U.S.C. or imprisonment for not more than 10 years or both. If the offense involves a pre-retail medical product, which it doesn't, then it would be greater. The court may impose an alternate fine to that imposable under paragraph 1 of not more than twice the amount of the criminally derived property involved in the transaction. So we're talking about foreign currency. What's the value of that? Well, that's 30 to 50 million, right? Do you see now that you're playing in waters way above your head? You're at the bottom of the pool, drowning, with no life support, nobody to come rescue you. You're all alone on an island, drowning by your own choices. And I'm not even halfway through on the federal crimes. Let's continue, folks. I told you, you're going to be sick to your fucking stomach when I get done. Because I am the right one. I hate to keep saying that to you guys, but yeah, y'all found the right one. Laundering of monetary instruments. Whoever, knowing that the property involved in a financial transaction represents the proceeds of some form of unlawful activity, conducts or attempts to conduct such a financial transaction, which in fact involves the proceeds of a specified unlawful activity. Are your dots connecting? Are you like bells ringing in your head? Butterflies in your stomach? A, with the intent to promote the carrying on of a specified unlawful activity or with the intent to engage in conduct constituting a violation of Section 7201 or 7206 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, or knowing that the transaction is designed in whole or in part to conceal or disguise the nature, the location, the source, the ownership, or the control of the proceeds of a specified unlawful activity, or to avoid a transaction reporting requirement under state or federal law, shall be sentenced to a fine of not more than $500,000 or twice the value of the property involved in the transaction, 60 to 100 million, whichever is greater, or imprisonment for not more than 20 years or both. For purposes of this paragraph, a financial transaction shall be considered to be one involving the proceeds of specified unlawful activity if it is part of a set of parallel or dependent transactions, any one of which involves the proceeds of specified unlawful activity and all of which are part of a single plan or arrangement. Unlicensed security broker. Whoever transports, transmits, or transfers, or attempts to transport, transmit, or transfer a monetary instrument or funds from a place in the United States to or through a place outside the United States, or to a place in the United States from or through a place outside the United States, with the intent to promote the carrying on of a specified unlawful activity. Knowing that the monetary instrument or funds involved in the transaction, transmission, or transfer represent the proceeds from some form of unlawful activity, and knowing that such transportation, transmission, or transfer is designed in whole or part to conceal or disguise the nature and location, source, ownership, and control of the proceeds of specified unlawful activity, or to avoid transaction reporting requirement under state or federal law, shall be sentenced to a fine of not more than $500,000 or twice the value of the monetary instrument involved. And again, 20 years or both. And here we go again. Blah, 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 blah. You're more than way to go read all this if you want. Yeah. We can get all your currency tied up in court, get it frozen, get it seized, and you'll get it back after the, here, y'all want to see all these crimes in here? Look at all these crimes. See if I can go find one real quick. Relating to computer fraud abuse. I mean, it's just so easy. You know, you could go do your own research and get most of this. You know, it just doesn't take very many. Doesn't take very many. So we've gotten through that one. Man, we're a long way away. This goes down to 0, folks. So remember, we're going backwards. Retaliating against a federal judge or federal law enforcement officer by false claim or slander of title. Wow, I bet you're going, what's that up, Floyd? Whoever files, attempts to file, or conspires to file in any public record or in any private record, which is generally available to the public, any false lien or encumbrance against real or personal property of individual described in section 1114 on account of the performance of official duties of that individual, knowing or have reason to know that such lien or encumbrance is false or contains any materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or representation shall be fined under the title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. So basically, all that is telling you is that if you do not have a security interest, i.e., security agreement contract between you and the secured party or the debtor in opposite position, that would be a fraudulent lien or encumbrance. So don't go filing UCC-1s unless you have a security interest that you can provide and upload with your UCC-1 as proof that you have a security interest in place and you're not filing a fraudulent lien. And the state of Texas takes filing a fraudulent lien so seriously, it's in 4 separate statutes: Texas Business Commerce Code, Texas Government Code, Civil Practice Remedies Code, and Business and Commerce Code. 1519, destruction, alteration, or falsification of records in federal investigations and bankruptcy. Whoever knowingly alters, destroys, mutilates, conceals, cover-ups, falsifies, or makes false entry in any record, document, or tangible object with the intent to impede, obstruct, influence the investigation or proper administration of any matter within the jurisdiction of any department or agency of the United States, or any case filed under Title 11 or in relation to or contemplation of any such matter or case shall be fined under this title in prison not more than 20 years or both. So if you're going over to Telegram and you're deleting your shit, bam, not only you're violating state law, tampering with or fabricating physical evidence, you're also violating it on the federal level. Like I said, y'all guys, man, y'all better go do your research. You better go do your homework. You better go sit down somewhere and shut the fuck up before you come out here in the streets and want to play in the freeway with the big boys. 1515, definitions for certain provisions, general provision, as used in sections 1512 and 1513 of this title, which I will get into. The term official proceeding means a proceeding before a judge or a court in the United States, a United States magistrate judge, a bankruptcy judge, a judge in the United States tax court, special trial judge of the tax court, a judge in the United States Court of Federal Claims, or federal grand jury. A proceeding before Congress, a proceeding before the federal government agency which was authorized by law, or a proceeding involving the business of insurance whose activities affect interstate commerce before any insurance regulatory official agency. This is not insurance. So, number two, the term physical force means any physical action against another, includes confinement. Number three, misleading conduct, knowingly making a false statement, intentionally omitting information from a statement and thereby causing a portion of such statement to be misleading, or intentionally concealing a material fact and thereby creating a false impression of such statement. With the intent to mislead, knowingly submitting or inviting reliance on writing or recording that is false, forged, altered, or otherwise lacking in authenticity. With the intent to mislead, knowingly submitting or inviting reliance on a sample, specimen, map, photograph, boundary mark, or other object that is misleading in a material respect, or knowingly use a trick, scheme, or device with the intent to mislead. We can get into what a law enforcement officer is, bodily injury, we know all that. The term corruptly persuades does not include conduct which would be misleading conduct, but for a lack of state of mind. As used in section 1505, the term corruptly means acting with an improper purpose, personally or by influencing another, including making a false or misleading statement, or withholding, concealing, altering, or destroying a document or other information. This chapter does not prohibit or punish the providing of lawful, bona fide legal representation services in connection with or anticipation of an official proceeding. Next, civil action to restrain harassment of a victim or witness. The United States District Court, upon application of the attorney for the government, shall issue a temporary restraining order prohibiting harassment of a victim or a witness in a federal criminal case if the court finds from specific facts shown by affidavit or by verified complaint that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the harassment of an identified victim or witness in a federal criminal case exists, or that such order is necessary to prevent or restrain an offense under section 1512 of this section, other than the offense consisting of misleading conduct under section 1513 of this title. A TRO may be issued under this section without written or oral notice to the adverse party or such party's attorney in a civil action under the section if the court finds upon written certification facts by the attorney for the government that such notice would not be required and that there's no reasonable probability that the government will prevail on the merits. TRO issued without notice under the section, blah, 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 blah. This is all TRO stuff. Temporary restraining order. United States District Court, upon motion of the attorney for the government or on its own motion, shall issue a protective order prohibiting harassment of a victim or a witness in a federal criminal case or investigation if the court, after a hearing, finds a preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not beyond a reasonable doubt, that the evidence that the harassment of the identified victim or witness in a federal criminal case or investigation exists, and that such order is necessary to prevent and restrain an offense under section 1512 of this title, other than the offense consisting of misleading conduct or under 1513 of this title. And what this involves is what's called multi-jurisdictional venue. Go look it up, which means that you can be tried in the United States District Court, Southern District of Texas, Houston Division, and then you can be convicted in the Puerto Rico U.S. District Court for the District of Puerto Rico, and then any other jurisdiction. Multi-jurisdictional venue. Are you prepared to do all this? Are you prepared to go sit in state, county, federal jails awaiting trial? Do you have money for bond? Because if you come up with some money, they're going to seize it. All this is about what? Foreign currency exchange, commerce. That's what all of this is about. Jayboi is trying to prevent domestic and foreign commerce. Go look it up. Y'all think this is like child's play? Retaliating against a witness, victim, or an informant. Whoever kills or attempts to kill another person with the intent to retaliate against a person for blah, 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 blah. Ain't nobody trying to kill anybody, I hope. Whoever knowingly engages in any conduct and thereby causes bodily injury to another person or damages the tangible property of another person or threatens to do so with the intent to retaliate against any other person for the attendance of a witness or a party to an official proceeding or any testimony given or any record, document, or other object produced by a witness in an official proceeding or any information related to the commission or possible commission of a federal offense or a violation of conditions of probation, supervised release, parole, or release pending judicial proceedings given by a person to a law enforcement officer or attempts to do so shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. You see, we're getting up in quite substantial amount of time here. We may be beyond your lifespan in sentencing, and we're not even done on the federal level. Do you see how many crimes you are associated with here as a racketeering, influence, corrupt organization? Do you? I haven't even shown you the evidence, but you know what? All the evidence is in your head. You know what you did. You know what others did. You know how others conspired to repeat a pattern of behavior against multiple victims across multiple jurisdictions, including domestic United States and its territories. You're in some serious shit. You can go on and read this if you want. It's 5:06. I have to be on the air in 54 minutes to present this to you, and I haven't eaten. Tampering with a witness, victim, or informant. I think we went through this. Whoever uses physical force or the threat of physical force against any person or attempts to do so with the intent to influence, delay, prevent the testimony of any person in an official proceeding or causes to induce any person to withhold testimony or withhold a record, document, or other object from an official proceeding, alter, destroy, mutilate, or conceal an object with the intent to impair the integrity or availability of the object for use in an official proceeding. And remember, I put you all on notice. Do not destroy or tamper with physical evidence. Do not go back and delete your shit. Do not delete your Telegram account. You are fabricating and tampering with physical evidence on the state and federal level. So don't do it. Evade legal process, summoning that the person to appear as a witness or to produce a record, document, or other object in an official proceeding or be absent from a official proceeding. That means to disappear when you want to be heard and appear. Hinder, delay, or prevent the communication to a law enforcement officer or judge of the United States of information relating to the commission or possible commission of a federal offense or a violation of conditions of probation, supervised release, parole, or release pending judicial proceedings shall be punished as provided in paragraph 3. Whoever knowingly uses intimidation, threatens, corruptly persuades another person or attempts to do so or engages in misleading conduct towards another person with the intent to influence, delay, prevent the testimony of any person in any official proceeding, shall be fined under this title in prison not more than 20 years or both. 20 years or both. 3 years or both. You're more than welcome to slow this video down, pause it, go look these cases up yourself, read it, and weep. Obstruction of criminal investigations. Whoever willfully endeavors by means of bribery to obstruct, delay, or prevent the communication of information relating to a violation of any criminal statute of the United States by any person to a criminal investigator shall be fined under this title or in prison not more than 5 years or both. B, whoever being an officer of a financial institution with the intent to, well, that doesn't apply. Whoever being an officer of a financial institution, that doesn't apply. As used in this section, the term criminal investigator means any individual duly authorized by a department, agency, or armed forces of the United States to conduct or engage in investigations of or prosecutions for violations of the criminal laws of the United States. Well, quiet as it's kept, and this is hearsay, is that the military is investigating. It's hearsay. That doesn't include the alphabet agencies. Doesn't include the state of Texas. That's wholly separate. And wait till they get a hold of this video. Do you think Jayboi is going to be able to walk in and redeem anything after this video? Because you've been noticed. You're on notice, all of you. Notice to principal is notice to agent. It applies. If you're affiliated with Jayboi in one of his Telegram rooms, website, social media, you're in it. You're a part of it. You are the organization, the organ. Get it? So if you want to go read this, you're more than welcome to go read it. We'll continue on. 1506, theft or alteration of record or process, false bail. Whoever feloniously steals, takes away, alters, falsifies, or otherwise avoids any record, writ, process, or other proceeding in any court of the United States whereby any judgment is reversed, made void, or does not take effect, or whoever acknowledges or procures to be acknowledged in any such court any recognizance, bail, judgment in the name of any other person not privy or consenting to the same shall be found under this title and in prison for not more than 5 years or both. 1505, obstruction of proceedings before departments, agencies, and committees. Whoever, with the intent to avoid, evade, prevent, or obstruct compliance in whole or in part with any civil investigative demand duly and properly made under the Antitrust Civil Process Act, willfully withholds, misrepresents, removes from any place, conceals, covers up, destroys, mutilates, alters, or by other means falsifies any documentary material, answers to written interrogatories or oral testimony which is the subject of demand, or attempts to do so, or solicits another to do so, or whoever corruptly or by threats or force or by threatening letter or communication influences, obstructs, or impedes or endeavors to influence, obstruct, or impede with the due and proper administration of law under which any pending proceeding is being had before any department or agency of the United States, or the due and proper exercise of the power of inquiry under which any inquiry or investigation is being had by either house or any committee of either house or any joint committee of Congress, shall be fined under this title in prison not more than 5 years. If the offense involves international or domestic terrorism as defined under Section 2231, in prison not more than 8 years or both. You want to get into some domestic terrorism? Y'all want to be labeled an extremist group? Well, I can damn sure make that happen. You won't fly anywhere. 18 U.S. Code 1349, attempt and conspiracy. Any person who attempts or conspires to commit any offense under this chapter shall be subject to the same penalties as those prescribed for the offense, the commission of which was the object of the attempt or conspiracy. So if you're trying to hide shit, and I've already shown you that we're probably up to 400 years worth of federal criminal offenses. Next, securities and commodities fraud, 1348. Whoever knowingly executes or attempts to execute a scheme or artifice to defraud any person in connection with any commodity for future delivery, or any option on a commodity for future delivery, or any security of an issuer with a class of securities registered under Section 12 of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, 15 U.S.C. 781, or is that required to file reports under the Section 15D of the Securities Exchange Act 1934, 15 U.S.C. 780D, or to obtain by means of false or fraudulent pretenses, representations, or promises any money or property in connection with the purchase or sale of any commodity for future delivery, or any option on a commodity for future delivery, or any security of an issuer with a class of securities registered under Section 12 of the Securities Exchange Act 1934, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 25 years or both. Y'all send me $75. I'll go buy y'all Zim notes and I'll exchange them and then I'll pay you out. Hearsay. That's all I got because I didn't get the offer. Did you? Did you send him your $75 for a fraudulent scheme? Did all of you acquiesce to this? Did you knowingly or unknowingly that we were going to Chili's and I jumped out and robbed the Shell station? Next, definition of scheme or artifice to defraud. For the purpose of this chapter, the term scheme or artifice to defraud includes a scheme or artifice to deprive another of the intangible right of honest services. You could throw that baseball bullshit in there as well. Next, fraud by wire, radio, or television. Whoever having devised or intending to devise any scheme or artifice to defraud or for obtaining money or property by any means of false or fraudulent pretenses, representations, or promises, transmits or causes to be transmitted by means of wire, radio, or television communication in interstate or foreign commerce, any writings, signs, signals, pictures, or sounds for the purpose of executing such scheme or artifice shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. If the violation occurs in relation to or involving any benefit authorized, transported, transmitted, transferred, dispersed, or paid in connection with a presidentially declared major disaster emergency, nope. But there you go. Next, 1341, frauds and swindles. Whoever having devised or intending to devise any scheme or artifice to defraud or for obtaining money or property by means of false or fraudulent pretenses, representations, or promises, or to sell, dispose of, loan, exchange, alter, give away, distribute, supply, or furnish, or procure for unlawful use any counterfeit or spurious coin, obligation, security, or other article, or anything represented to be or intimated or held out to be such counterfeit or spurious article for the purposes of executing such scheme or artifice or attempting to do so, places in any post office or authorized depository for mail matter, any matter or thing, whatever, to be sent or delivered by the Postal Service, or deposits or cause to deposit any matter or thing, whatever, to be sent or delivered by any private or commercial interstate carrier, or takes or receives therefrom any such matter or thing, knowingly causes to be delivered by mail or such carrier according to the direction thereon, or places that a place at which is to be directed delivered to the person by whom it is addressed. Any such matter or thing shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. Next, fraud with related activity in connection with computers. Whoever knowingly accessed a computer without authorization or exceeding authorized access and by means of such conduct having obtained information that is determined by the United States government pursuant to an executive order or statute or require protection against unauthorized disclosure for reasons of national defense or foreign relations or of any restricted data as defined in paragraph Y of Section 11 of the Atomic Energy Act, with reason to believe that such information obtained could be used to the injury of the United States or to the advantage of any foreign nation, willfully commutes, delivers, transmits, or causes to be communicated, delivered, transmitted, or attempts to communicate, delivered, transmitted, or causes to be communicated, delivered, or transmitted in the same way any person not entitled to receive it or willfully retains the same and fails to deliver it to the officer or employee of the United States entitled to receive it, intentionally accesses a computer without authorization or exceeds authorized access and thereby contains information contained in a financial record or financial institution or a card. Okay. The reason I brought this one up is because intel is very protected. Intel regarding national security is very highly protected. People like Phil Godlewski, who put themselves out as intel specialists, if they were really giving you true intel, they would be in a Bureau of Prisons, Guantanamo Bay, or over in Colorado at the Special Housing Unit. Receiving the proceeds of extortion, a person who receives, possesses, conceals, or disposes of any money or property which was obtained from the commission of any offense under this chapter is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year, knowing the same to have been unlawfully obtained shall be imprisoned not more than 3 years and fined under this title or both. Next. 876. We're getting down to the very end here. Mailing, threatened communications. Whoever knowingly deposits at a post office or authorized depository for mail matter to be sent or delivered by the Postal Service, knowingly caused to be delivered by the Postal Service. Any threats, another 20 years. Whoever with the intent to extort from any person any money or other thing of value so deposits or caused to be delivered as fed any communication containing any threat to kidnap any person or any threat to injure a person or addresses or another shall be fined under this title not more than 20 years of both. And I'm doing this for you guys, okay? Because you are going to be targeted. If you turn against Jayboi, he is going to do all this, and you should know what your recourse is. See, I cover both avenues. I am not your enemy. I'm a humanitarian, a philanthropist. I don't want to see anybody go to prison unless they're duly deserving. And then that's a whole nother story. Interstate communications. Whoever transmits in interstate or foreign commerce any communication containing any demand or request for ransom or reward for the release of any kidnapped person shall be fined. Whoever with the intent to extort from any person, firm, association, or corporation any money or other thing of value transmits in interstate or foreign commerce communication any threat to kidnap any person, any person or any threat to injure the person of another shall be fined under the title in prison not more than 20 years or both. So whoever, okay, whoever with the intent to extort from any person, blah, 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 or anything of value, transmit in the interstate or foreign commerce any communication containing any threat to kidnap or any person or any threat to injure the person of another shall be fined under this title. No, there's no 20 years. So that threat on my life, there you go. Whoever transmits interstate or foreign commerce any communication containing any threat to kidnap any person or threat to injure another person of another shall be fined under this title or in prison not more than 5 years or both. Whoever with the intent to extort from any person, firm, association, blah, 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 to injure the property or the reputation of the addressee or another for the reputation of these persons, blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is through the mail. And we are done, I think. Oh, no, we're not. Ha! Blackmail. Woo. Whoever under a threat of informing or as consideration for not informing against any violation of any law of the United States demands or receives any money or any other valuable thing shall be fined under this title or in prison not more than 1 year or both. Criminal street gangs. Conviction includes finding under state or federal law that a person has committed an act of juvenile delinquency involving violent or controlled substance felony. Criminal street gang means an ongoing group, club, organization, or association of 5 or more persons, and A, that has as one of its primary purposes the commission of one or more of the criminal offenses described in subsection C, that's a little c, the members of which engage or have engaged in the past 5 years in a continuing series of offenses described in subsection C, and the activities of which affect interstate and foreign commerce. B, penalty. The sentence of a person convicted of an offense described in subsection C shall be increased to up to 10 years if the offense is committed under the circumstances described in section D. Here we go for the offenses, section C that we were talking about above. The offenses described in this section are a federal felony involving controlled substance. Nope. Federal felony, a crime of violence that has an element of the use or attempted use of physical force against any person, against the person of another. So there's where we're at right there. Federal offense involving human trafficking, sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, transportation, prostitution, like sexual activity, or a conspiracy to commit an offense described in paragraph 1, 2, or 3. Bam! There's 2 offenses described under this section. Criminal street gangs. Circumstances. The circumstances described in this section are that the offense is described under subsection C was committed by a person who participates in a criminal street gang with knowledge that its members engage in or have engaged in a continuing series of offenses described in subsection C. Right? Intends to promote or further the felonious activities of the criminal street gang or maintain or increase his or her position in the gang, and has been convicted within the past 5 years for an offense described in subsection C, a state offense involving a controlled substance. It is a felony of violence that has the element or use or attempted use of physical force against the person of another. Any federal or state felony offense that is by nature involves a substantial risk that physical force against a person or another person be used in the course of committing the offense, or a conspiracy to commit an offense described as subparagraph A, B, or C. So it's just a conspiracy, okay, for these. Conspiracy to commit an offense, subparagraph A, B, or C. There's C, there's B, there's A. And we're still rolling. Conspiracy against rights, 241. If 2 or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him or her by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or because of his or her having so exercised the same, or if 2 or more persons go in disguise on the highway or on the premises of another with the intent to prevent or hinder his free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege so secured, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? You thought we were done. Continuing financial crimes enterprises. Whoever organizes, manages, or supervises a continuing financial crimes enterprises and receives $5 million or more in gross receipts from such enterprise during a 24-month period shall be fined not more than $10 million if an individual, or $20 million if an organization, and imprisoned for a term not less than 10 years, and which may be life. For purposes of subsection A, the term continuing financial crimes enterprise means a series of violations under section 215, 656, 657, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1014, 1032, or 1344 of this title, or section 1341 or 1343 affecting a financial institution committed by at least 4 persons acting in concert. 373, solicitation to commit a crime of violence. Whoever, with the intent that another person engage in conduct constituting a felony that has an element, the use, attempted use, or threatened use of physical force against property or against the person of another in violation of laws of the United States and under circumstances strongly corroborative of that intent, solicit, commands, induces, or otherwise endeavors to persuade such other person to engage in such conduct shall imprison not more than one half the maximum term of imprisonment, notwithstanding Section 3571, fine not more than one half the maximum fine prescribed in the punishment of the crime solicited, or both, or if the crime solicited is punishable by life imprisonment or death, or shall be imprisoned for not more than 20 years. So the threat on my life in the RV will set you free room, talking about the shovel in the coffin. Are you ready? It is not a defense or prosecution under the section that the person solicited could not be convicted of a crime because he lacked the state of mind required for its commission, because he was incompetent or irresponsible, or because he is immune from prosecution or is not subject to prosecution. Law parties. Notice to principal is notice to agent. And that concludes my show, just in time for me to go sit down and eat. So I'm going to go eat a really good meal. I'm going to enjoy myself. Are you hungry? How you feel now? Which side of the fence are you going to be on? Or actually, I should say, bars, walls. You going to be on the outside looking in, or you going to be the inside looking out? Choice is yours. Be sure and choose wisely. Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. I am Fearless Floyd, the chosen one. Thank you for choosing me. I relish the opportunity to fulfill my position as being the chosen one. And thank you, because you all are going to make me a martyr in this community for standing up against a fucking piece of shit, punk ass bitch coward that none of you had the capability of standing up to. Demand your respect. I don't need your respect. You know why? I have my own. I get it from this. That's why I tell you folks, I don't care if you watch my show. I don't care if you like my show. I don't care if you subscribe. I don't care if you like it. I don't care if you give me a thumbs down. You know why? I'm going to sit here and do what I do day after day, every day. And if you want to shut me up, come beat me up. Offer stands, God and everybody. Round trip airfare, transportation, meals, lodging if necessary. Bring your gloves, bring your mouthpiece, bring your honor and integrity. Meet me at LA Fitness's, Hollister and Tidwell, Northwest Houston. Just walk up to the counter and say, hey, man, will you call Floyd Tarvin? Tell him come up here, and I'll be there within 5 minutes. I can walk there. And then I'll bring my laptop. I'll turn it on. We'll go live on YouTube, Rumble, wherever else. We can set the terms and conditions of how we're going to recreate as we catch the square. And we go for however long you want to go. 60-second rounds, 30-second rounds, 10-second rounds, 2-minute rounds, 10 rounds, 2 rounds, 1 round. That's how I roll. I don't play with trolls. I confront y'all head on. I make you an offer that you have to refuse. There ain't no way you're going to come here and deal with me. Because the first person that comes and steps in that square circle, I'm going to try to make an example out of them for everybody, so it doesn't happen again. I'm going to show you what I'm all about. I just showed you intellectually what I'm all about, what I'm capable of doing. If you haven't seen my legal work, please go check out my treason against the state of Texas videos, and you'll see Fearless Floyd put out an arrest warrant for the entire Biden administration and sent it to every state official in the state of Texas. I don't fuck around. I play serious hardball. I encourage each and every one of you to take a day, digest this. You can listen to a fucking idiot boy tomorrow. All he's going to do is just try to smooth talk you guys. Keep your friends close, your enemies closer. I know there's going to be moles listening to this. I know this is going to be sent directly to Jayboi, and goddamn, I can't wait till you see this video, brother. You're going to shit in your fucking pants. I'm going to lock your fucking ass up, and I'm going to lock your wife up. Your children are going to go into child protective services because you're running a criminal organization. I have 110 absolute proof. You all know it in your heart and soul. You can't deny it. Remember, I hold the key, not only to your freedom, but to your RV as well. So if you want to make an enemy out of the Fearless Floyd Show and me, by all means, choose wisely. Because once it goes out of my hand into state and federal authorities, I have no more control over who gets steamrolled, who turns state's evidence, who wins, who loses, or who's just going to get kicked to the curb and thank their lucky stars nothing happened to them. Thank you for watching. Don't like, don't subscribe, don't hit the notification bell, don't leave a comment below, don't do anything. Don't even share this video. In fact, don't even listen to a word I said or anything that I have presented to you in this video. Go do your own research and vet everything I said. Any questions, comments, complaints, you can always reach me at the Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. Everybody knows my phone number. You're more than welcome to call me or text me. Just don't call me before 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, or I'll block you and you'll never be able to communicate with me. If you want to turn state's evidence, I'm not the linchpin for all this. I'm not going to be the one that's moving all this. I will prepare what I need to prepare and submit it to the proper authorities on the state and federal level when I'm ready to do it. Whether or not that includes you, I don't know. You guys created this mess. It's your mess. You guys need to figure out how y'all want to clean up your own mess. If you want to continue to be in a cesspool and commit clear state and federal felonies across multiple jurisdictions, not only in Texas, but definitely in Puerto Rico, your ass is going to belong to state and federal authorities. So you better get a fucking grip. You better share this with God and everybody. Anybody who's ever been associated with Jayboi Productions. That fool going down. Are you going to go down with him? Because he's going to try to take as many as he can with you. That's how he rolls. And he's going to try to flip on all y'all. Watch. He's going to try to flip first. So you better have your fucking ducks in a row. Because he's a coward. He's not going to prison. He's going to throw every one of you under the bus. And I don't care how loyal you were to him. I don't care how much money you gave to him. I don't care how much he told you that he loved you. It's about looking out for number one. Sam Anderson, Jayboi, period. End of story. He don't give a shit about his wife. When it comes down to the nut cutting, oh, she's going under the bus. If he's got to drop her down across a river to get across to the other side to prevent getting convicted, guess where the wife's going? She's going to be that plank, that bridge. And he's going to walk all over her to get there and not look back. So from this point on, I'm going to produce everything I need to produce. I'm going to have it all ready to submit to both state and federal officials. You guys got 1 week, 1 fucking week. Get your shit together. Figure out what the fuck y'all want to do. And I better see 840 fucking affidavits from everybody in that fucking room, all filing charges on the state and federal level against Sam Anderson. Because if you do not, and you're in one of those Telegram rooms or in his groups, you're going down with him. You're going down with him. You're going to be one of his principals, one of his agents. And they're going to take you and they're going to throw you away, and he's going to flip on you. He might have to go do some state time. He's going to flip on you on the federal. So he who acts first is going to win. Remember, you'll fuck around and find out. If you play stupid games with stupid people, you win stupid prizes. It's 5 years in the federal prison, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, 80 years, 100 years, 120 years. I easily amassed that just on the federal level. I've also got you for both federal and state RICO. I haven't even gone over and looked at Puerto Rico laws. Wait till I do that for Mark, because I'm doing all the lifting for Mark. And I want you all to know, never, ever, at any time has Mark Zephyros asked me to do anything for him. Nothing. Everything I've done has been 100% voluntary out of my own kindness of my heart. Fuck around, find out.